Debt is one of the most suffocating feelings in the world, that constant weight sitting on your chest every time you check your bank account, the anxiety every time a bill arrives, the feeling that no matter how hard you work, you just cannot seem to get ahead because the debt keeps growing faster than you can pay it down. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Because today on Sunny Aurum, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step system to get out of debt fast, even if your budget is tight, even if you have tried before and failed, and even if right now it feels completely impossible. Stay until the end because the final step is the one that makes sure you never end up in serious debt again. Welcome back to Sunny Aurum, where your money finally makes sense. If you are new here, we break down complex financial topics into simple, actionable steps anyone can follow. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a golden opportunity. Now let us get into it. Before we get into the strategies, there's one fundamental truth about debt that most people never fully understand. And not understanding it is exactly why most people stay in debt for years longer than they need to. Here's the truth. Debt is not just a financial problem. It is a mathematical problem. And mathematical problems have mathematical solutions. Every debt you have, no matter how large it feels right now, is simply a number. A number that can be reduced systematically with the right strategy and enough consistent action over time. The reason most people stay in debt is not because they lack the ability to pay it off. It is because they approach debt emotionally rather than mathematically. They feel overwhelmed by the total amount, and so they avoid thinking about it. They make minimum payments and hope things will somehow improve on their own. They spend money on things that feel good in the moment because the debt feels hopeless anyway, and they never sit down and create a clear, specific mathematical plan to eliminate it. The moment you shift from feeling overwhelmed by your debt to treating it as a solvable mathematical problem, everything changes, and that is exactly what we are going to do today. The very first step to getting out of debt fast is the one that most people avoid for months or even years: facing your debt completely and honestly. Most people in debt have a rough idea of what they owe, but they deliberately avoid looking at the exact numbers. The credit card balance sits around somewhere. The loan is roughly this much. The total is somewhere in that range. This deliberate vagueness is a psychological protection mechanism. If you do not look at it clearly, it feels less real and less scary, but this vagueness is exactly what keeps you stuck, because you cannot make a clear plan to eliminate something you refuse to look at clearly. So step one is simple but powerful. Sit down right now, today, and write down every single debt you have. Every single one. Credit cards, personal loans, student loans, car loans, money owed to family, buy now, pay later balances, everything. For each debt, write down 4 things: the name of the debt, the total balance remaining, the interest rate being charged, and the minimum monthly payment required. Do not judge what you see. Do not panic at the total. Just list it all out clearly and completely. Because once everything is visible on paper, it stops being a terrifying vague cloud of anxiety and becomes a specific list of numbers that can be systematically addressed one by one. Once you have your complete debt list, the next step is choosing the right strategy to eliminate it. There are 2 proven debt elimination strategies that work. Strategy 1 is called the Debt Avalanche method. With the Avalanche method, you list your debts in order from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. You make minimum payments on every debt. Then you take every extra dollar you can find and throw it at the debt with the highest interest rate first. Once that debt is eliminated, you take all the money you are paying toward it and add it to the payment on the next highest interest rate debt, and so on, cascading down your debt list until every debt is gone. The Avalanche method is mathematically optimal. It minimizes the total amount of interest you pay over the life of your debts, which means you get out of debt faster and pay less money overall. Strategy 2 is called the Debt Snowball method. With the Snowball method, you list your debts in order from smallest total balance to largest total balance, regardless of interest rate. You make minimum payments on every debt. Then you throw every extra dollar at the smallest debt first. Once the smallest debt is eliminated, you roll that payment into the next smallest debt. The snowball method is not mathematically optimal, but it is psychologically powerful. Paying off your first small debt quickly gives you a genuine win, a proof of concept that your plan is working. This win builds momentum, motivation, and confidence. My recommendation, if your debt is primarily high-interest credit card debt, use the Avalanche method. If you have multiple small debts causing overwhelm, start with the snowball method to build momentum, then switch to Avalanche for larger remaining debts. Choosing a strategy is meaningless without money to execute it. And the most common objection I hear is, I am already stretched thin. There's nothing left at the end of the month. Here is the truth. In almost every budget, no matter how tight, there are dollars that can be redirected to debt elimination. Here are 5 specific places to find extra debt payment money. Place 1. Subscriptions audit. Go through your bank statement right now and list every recurring subscription charge. Cancel every single one that you have not actively used in the last 30 days. The average person finds $50 to $150 per month in forgotten or unnecessary subscriptions. Place 2. Food spending reduction. Meal planning and cooking at home just 4 additional days per week can save $100 to $200 per month for most people. This single change alone can dramatically accelerate your debt payoff timeline. Place 3. Sell unused items. Go through your home and list items you no longer use. Clothes, electronics, furniture, equipment, books. A single weekend of listing items can generate $100 to $500 that goes directly to debt. Place 4. Negotiate your bills. Call your internet provider, insurance company, and phone carrier and ask for a better rate. The average household can save $50 to $100 per month just from negotiating existing bills with zero sacrifice in services. Place 5. 1. Temporary income increase. Even an extra $150 to $300 per month for 6 to 12 months can eliminate thousands of dollars in debt and cut years off your payoff timeline. This is one of the most powerful and most underused debt elimination tactics available, and it requires nothing more than a phone call. Negotiate your interest rates down. If you have credit card debt, call your credit card company right now. Ask to speak to the retention department. Tell them you are a loyal customer struggling with a high interest rate and considering transferring your balance to a competitor. Ask them what they can do to reduce your interest rate. This simple conversation results in a temporary or permanent interest rate reduction in a significant number of cases. Even reducing your credit card interest rate from 22% to 16% saves you a meaningful amount every single month, and that saved money accelerates your debt payoff. Additionally, if you have multiple high-interest debts, research balance transfer options. Many credit card companies offer 0% interest balance transfer promotions for 12 to 18 months. Transferring a high-interest balance to a 0% promotional card means every dollar you pay goes directly to reducing the principal, not being eaten by interest. Personal loan consolidation is another option worth exploring. Consolidating multiple high-interest debts into a single lower-interest personal loan simplifies your payments and reduces the total interest you pay. Once you have your debt list, your strategy, your extra payment money, and your negotiated interest rates, the next step is to automate the entire system and then look for every opportunity to accelerate it. Automation is critical because it removes willpower from the equation. Set up automatic minimum payments for every debt so you never miss a payment. Then set up an automatic extra payment to your priority debt on the same day your income arrives each month. This ensures your debt payoff plan executes automatically whether you are motivated that day or not. Acceleration means looking for every opportunity to make additional lump sum payments towards your priority debt. A work bonus goes to debt. A tax refund goes to debt. Birthday money goes to debt. Birthday money goes to debt. Selling an item goes to debt. Any money that arrives outside your normal income during your debt elimination period gets directed immediately and entirely to your priority debt. Track your progress visually. Create a simple debt payoff tracker, a chart showing your debt balance decreasing month by month. Seeing your debt balance actually drop each month, seeing the line move closer and closer to zero, is one of the most motivating experiences in personal finance. Getting out of debt is one challenge. Staying out of debt is another, and it requires building specific protective habits and systems. The first protection is building a real emergency fund. The number one reason people fall back into debt after paying it off is unexpected expenses. Car repairs, medical bills, home repairs, that they have no cash to cover. Without an emergency fund, these expenses go straight onto a credit card and the cycle begins again. Commit to building a $1,000 emergency fund while you are paying off debt. That $1,000 acts as a firewall that breaks the debt cycle permanently. The second protection is learning to distinguish between needs and wants before every purchase. Before any non-essential purchase, pause and ask honestly, is this a need or a want? If it is a want, can I wait 48 hours? Can I save up for it in cash instead of using credit? This one habit eliminates the impulse spending that creates most consumer debt. The third protection is changing your relationship with credit cards. Once you paid off your credit card debt, either cut them up entirely and operate on cash only until you have fully established strong financial habits, or keep one card with a low limit used only for planned purchases paid off in full every single month. The moment you make your final debt payment is one of the most significant financial moments of your life. First, celebrate genuinely but affordably. You accomplished something most people never manage. Second, immediately redirect all the money you were putting toward debt elimination into wealth building. The payment discipline you develop during your debt payoff journey is your most valuable financial asset. The moment your debt payment disappears, redirect that same amount into an index fund or savings account. You already proved you can live without that money. Now put it to work building your future. Third, build your emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Now that you are debt-free, a fully funded emergency fund is your next priority. This fund protects you from ever needing to take on emergency debt again. Fourth, begin investing. With no debt payments and a full emergency fund, you now have the foundation to start building real lasting wealth through consistent investment. This is the beginning of the next chapter, where your money starts working for you instead of against you. So there you have it, the complete step-by-step system to get out of debt fast, even on a tight budget. Step 1. Face your debt completely and honestly. Step 2. Choose your debt elimination strategy. Step 3. Find your extra payment money. Step 4. Negotiate your interest rates. Step 5. Automate and accelerate. Step 6. Protect yourself from new debt. Step 7. When you become debt-free, redirect your discipline into wealth building. Your action step today: write your complete debt list right now. Every debt, every balance, every interest rate, every minimum payment. That list is the beginning of your freedom. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Sunny Aurum. Drop a comment below. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to paying off debt? Stay golden.